So you were brave enough to try again. You poured your heart and soul into a relationship, hoping that it would finally be that one that worked out. And then it doesn't. You're just standing there, left feeling unseen, mishandled, and just completely dropped. It leaves you questioning not just the relationship, but yourself. It hurts, doesn't it? You just wonder what went wrong. Was it me? Am I just hard to freaking love? Hi, I'm Felicia, and I'm so glad you're here. Today, I just want to talk about something that I've been through time and time again, and I know it's something that affects so many of us, but we hardly ever just openly discuss it. How awful it feels to be fumbled. Hey y'all, what's going on? We are at Clark Park in the Nature Center, just hanging out. It's raining outside, but we're gonna go outside and chill out anyway. I think they got story time getting ready to start, so we're gonna look around a little bit and then we're gonna head outside. So there's no way around it. Being fumbled just sucks. It's that sense that no matter how much effort you put into something, it still just feels off. It leaves you so drained and unsure of just where you stand. I've been there more times than honestly I care to admit. But here's what I've learned. We can turn that pain into growth. We can reclaim our power, and it starts with understanding how mental and emotional health are at the very heart of each and every relationship we have. Now, I want to be real honest with you. I've felt like I was fumbled from the start, y'all. Growing up, I felt unworthy, unseen, and really alone when it came to dealing with my problems and my emotions. And that shaped how I saw and showed up in relationships. Maybe you felt the same. Constantly searching for validation, trying to be enough for someone, but never quite getting there. What I didn't realize back then was that these childhood wounds were dictating what I attracted in relationships and how I behaved in them. Alright, so bear with me for a moment. Let me try to make this make sense. For many of us, our early experiences can make us feel like we don't deserve to be fully loved or fully seen or even fully cared for. And it's so easy to fall into relationships that reflect that very thing, whether it's with friends or family or romantic partners. But there's some good news here. Once we recognize this pattern, we can begin to break it. A couple of years ago, I went on this beach trip, and it was there that I decided to take my power back. I realized that I was sick and tired of showing up in relationships that made me feel small and unworthy. I was done being drained by these connections that did not serve me in any way, shape, form, or fashion. So I dove deep into trying to understand the patterns of thinking, attachment styles, and the energy exchanges that were at play in my life. It wasn't an easy journey. In fact, it was hard as hell. And it won't be easy for you either. But it is so worth it. I started looking at my relationships not as something that defined me, but as mirrors, reflecting back to me what I believed about myself. That shift in my mindset was life-changing. Instead of shutting down, I opened up. I made the choice to grow through what I went through. And that's the key, y'all. Growth isn't just about surviving those hard moments. It's about thriving because of them. You see, the thing that we cannot forget is that life is in constant motion. And if we don't learn to adapt, we're going to get stuck in those old patterns that have no purpose in our life anymore. Maybe you've noticed this in your own relationships when they become stagnant or feel like they're running you down. Or maybe you find yourself constantly reacting to something instead of being in control. And over time, those types of relationships, they start to feel like nothing more than empty vessels. Throughout my history of being fumbled, I've learned that we just need to stay open to the unknown. If we can allow ourselves to be in that space between where we are and where we're going, we open ourselves up to so many possibilities. And yes, it is so uncomfortable. Hey guys, what's going on? We made it down to the river and to the train tracks here. Alright guys, so we definitely got a train coming. It's kind of freaky to be on this bridge whenever a big old train is about to cross over, but it's kind of fun to watch too, so let's check it out. Let me reiterate, yes, opening up is uncomfortable. Yes, it's uncertain, but it's where the growth happens. When we allow ourselves to evolve, we stop living in those relationships that are draining us and we start building connections that are nurturing. It's all going to start with some self-awareness. We need to be able to take a good look at where we come from. All those areas from our past where we felt unloved, neglected, or even traumatized. We need to give those feelings a seat at the table. Let them be heard and advocate for that part of yourself. We can't just bury everything and hope it all disappears. What I've come to realize is that it's usually the parts of ourselves that we're most afraid to confront that hold the key to the healing. Those shadow parts that we hide, they are actually what connects us to others on the deepest level. When we give them space, we can stop living in fear and start showing up as our true whole selves. And that's when we're able to create these relationships that are going to be respectful and harmonious and healthy. I also realize that our feelings and emotions are tools. They aren't here just to punish us. They're here to guide us. When we feel hurt or angry or abandoned, it's usually a sign that there's something in our past that's been triggered. Those emotions are asking us to please do something. Something sometimes is just simply feeling. Unexpressed feelings tend to get trapped inside us, and that will block your healing. The pain we feel in relationships is usually a catalyst for change. And while it's very painful, it's so powerful. When we heal ourselves, we can change how we approach every single relationship. We stop looking for someone to fill the void, and instead we show up whole, strong, and ready to love from a place of abundance and not lack. Taking back your power means taking responsibility for your own life. It's admitting that we've become addicted to the familiar, whether it's staying in an unhealthy relationship, repeating toxic patterns, or just clinging to those old identities. But the good news is we have the power to change. Feelings and emotions can be used as powerful tools for awareness. They tell us when we're stuck in those limiting beliefs or unhealthy attachments, or when we need to make a change. Often, pain is going to be the thing that pushes us to when we finally decide to take a step. And it's through that discomfort that we are going to grow. You see, a healed person looks at relationships differently. They no longer need to approach them from this place of fear or insecurity or lack. Instead, they're approached from a place of strength and clarity. And it doesn't mean the journey is not going to be hard. Growth creates tension. It forces us to face our old selves and to confront values that no longer serve us. But this is necessary. Each of us is going to heal in our own way because each of us has experienced trauma differently. But healing leads to evolution, and as we master our minds, we'll start to see the world completely different. We'll be able to spot unhealthy relationships from a mile away and say, "Oh, hell no, thank you." But because we know our worth, we will stop seeking validation from others, and we will bring the power back to ourselves. I challenge you today to take back your power. Look at your relationships not as something that's going to define you, but as mirrors that reflect back your own beliefs. When we can stop looking at these relationships as something that's going to fill us and instead look at them as places where we can grow, we will never be fumbled again. We will create connections based on this beautiful mutual respect and love and growth because we've done the work within ourselves first. I want to thank you for being here with me today. If any of this message resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts and your comments. Share your experiences, your lessons, and please let's support one another in this journey toward healthier, happier relationships. Until next time, I want you to take care of yourself, and above all else, I want you to keep growing. Reflect on where you've been giving your power away and start reclaiming it. Heal those parts of yourself that have felt unloved or unseen, and know that you deserve relationships that are mutually respectful and mutually harmonious. Remember, you deserve to thrive. I'll be seeing you next time. Thank you. Take care of yourself.